In this Helldivers 2 video, we're going to be revisiting the topic of meta loadouts versus the bugs. Now, I've been spending about a week or so playing the bugs because of the major order and whatnot, just casually playing. And one thing I noticed is that I have not released or talked about a meta loadout for the bugs in around 4 months or so. And quite a bit has changed. There's been some rebalancing and some adjustments made to weapons and new things added to the game with warbonds and whatnot. So I thought it was time, based on my play testing and playing around with things, that it was time to revisit my old meta loadout, see if it's still viable, as well as I wanted to talk about the new meta loadout that I think is actually even more viable. So what we're going to be doing is we're not only going to be taking a look at both those options, meaning the old meta loadout and the newer meta loadout, and comparing the two. We're also going to take a look at a loadout that I find to just be insanely fun in my most used loadout right now to face versus whether the gloom bugs, the predator bugs, or the base bugs. So anyways, we got a lot to talk about. Let's do it. First thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the meta loadout from quite a while ago. So essentially the things when I'm looking at a meta loadout is I want it to not only be extremely efficient at crowd control, anti-tank, and also just general ease of use for anybody playing. Meaning you could just go in and you just have a good time because you can pretty much take care of any situation. Especially against the bugs, you need quite a bit of everything in order to be able to be successful versus them. So basically when we're looking at that, my old meta loadout consisted of the primary weapon was the cookout. The cookout is an elite weapon. I was stuck between this or the blitzer because they both offer different kinds of crowd control. The blitzer is more or less a stagger machine and going to stun enemies a little bit more, and it kills a little bit slower, has medium penetration. Whereas the cookout is light penetration, but it has two advantages that the blitzer doesn't have, and the reason why I chose it is the stagger is a little bit higher, as well as the burning damage that it does is much more effective, and with the changes to burning damage making it even more effective against larger targets. I absolutely love the cookout because not only are you going to be staggering the hell out of enemies, pushing them away from you, you're going to also be burning them to death, and when paired with some of the gas options we're going to bring in, which we are bringing gas options, is quite good. The secondary item I was bringing in for this particular meta loadout was the grenade pistol. The grenade pistol is just so good at dealing with objectives from bug holes, obviously, because you have so many shots, you can close up bug holes. It can help you with shrieker towers, spore towers, things of that nature. It's also good at taking care of the spear enemies. I like it a lot. You see a pack of spear enemies, you shoot a grenade in there. A lot of times they'll chain react and kill a bunch of them, so it's quite useful there. For the equipment item, we're going to be bringing in the gas grenade. So the gas grenade is my favorite overall grenade to bring in against the bugs, just because of the fact that it offers so much utility for breaches. You throw this into a breach situation, whether you're doing the capture the flag mission or you're just being breached in general, it's going to help you deal with that situation a lot easier because it can help you with chargers, brood commanders, or anything like that. So gas grenade is very, very good for that. And paired with the cookout, the fact that you're doing not only fire damage to enemies but also gas damage over time, it's absolutely elite to be able to run these two together because you've got an elite crowd controlling situation with these two items. So with the armor passive, I was between quite a few different ones because I rotate depending on the map situation and typically my mood, but the main one that I always go back to is extra padding, because basically if you run the medium extra padding armor, which I run most of the time, you're basically getting heavy armor free. So why not run it? Because you're having the speed of medium armor, plus you're getting heavy armor resistance. Very, very good. I quite like that a lot. It gives you the best overall protection. Now, I also was running the medkit armor passive a lot, the heavy variant, because you do get a lot of protection from that because it is heavy armor, and you get the 2 extra stims and the bonus 2 seconds of stim duration, meaning that you're going to have more effects from experimental diffusion, things of that nature. Also engineer for more grenades and acclimated if you do have it from the kill zone. Armor set is very good because you do get that 50% resistance to every element in the game, including acid. So that's kind of whatever you want to choose there. For stratagem 1, this is going to be our backpack item. I brought in the gas dog. So the gas dog is still even elite today. It is so freaking good because most people forget how good it is because they don't run it for a while. They're running things like supply pack or even the new warp pack. And when you throw on the gas dog, you realize how good it is because it just makes everything easier. You're just walking around and this thing is flying around, concussing all the bugs as they're coming near you. There was so many times where I was just walking through a nest, I was just closing up bug holes with the grenade pistol, and the enemies were just clearing the way for me because the gas dog was doing this thing, just confusing everything. Has a fast recharge when it runs out of ammo, has a great ammo economy overall. So I just love the gas dog. It is still elite to this day, ever since they made those changes to gas, and it is still one of the best items in the game, especially in the backpack slot. So I was also running the Quasar as an anti-tank source because I thought that it was more valuable to have something that was unlimited ammo with this particular build because I wanted to stay on the move. I didn't want to have to worry about calling down things, and this offered the same level of utility as something like the EATs and things of that nature. So when you do the math, you're getting about the same, if not a little bit more Quasar shots can take into consideration the amount of cooldown time it takes to get an EAT or a commando or something like that in. So really it doesn't matter too much, but I like the Quasar just again because I shoot it and I can keep moving or doing whatever I want to do. And I don't want to run the recoilless because I want to run the gas dog. So this is one of the best anti-tank tools that you can run with a gas dog in my opinion. Lastly, for our stratagem 3 and 4, these are going to be the Rocket Sentry and the 500 kg. 500 kg is going to be for clearing multiple elites at once, meaning if you got Bile Titans or even just a bunch of enemies or chargers, and you got just a bunch of nastiness going on, you throw that in there, it's going to delete a lot of enemies at once. It's great for deleting bug nests all at once, meaning if you got a small cluster, we'll kill them instantly. Will also be very good for those heavy nests with the Bile Titan spawners or the mega nests with the Bile Titan spawners. Throw this in, and then it's going to take out that Bile Titan spawners of whatever elite enemies are in the area. 500 kgs is way too good, and it's absolutely an elite item on the bug front. Then the Rocket Sentry is going to also offer us some anti-tank as well. Now, I'll always kind of swap between this and the Machine Gun Sentry depending on the situation, but I find so much value from the Rocket Sentry. Not only is the lock-on range ridiculous, the ammo economy is amazing, the fact it can deal with chargers and Bile Titans so easily, especially if you give it enough range. Overall, the Rocket Sentry is just my overall favorite stratagem in the game for the bugs and the bots and the Illuminate. It's a very, very powerful stratagem and will offer a lot of utility, tons of range. It's just very ammo conscious and everything like that. Has a great cooldown. Rocket Sentry is just elite in the game. All right, so that was the old meta loadout. Let's take a look at the new meta loadout based off all the changes and all the things that have come down the pipeline since about 4 months ago. So the new meta loadout for the primary weapon is going to be the Eruptor. The Eruptor has seen a massive amount of changes since it was released back with Democratic Detonation, and currently with this most recent patch, now it has heavy penetration, the shrapnel damage is insane, so it's one of the most effective weapons in the game for being able to deal with any unit in the game, from random cannon fodder. It's going to be able to kill them very effectively with the shrapnel damage and the fact that it's heavy pen, so it's going to kill them in one shot a lot of times and multiple things in one shot. It's also just great against the elite units. You shoot a charger in the butt, you're going to kill it in 2 shots most of the time. Very effective weapon just from so many situations. And then on top of that, it has peak objective clearing. You could take out bug holes, you can take out shrieker nests, you can take out spore towers. There's not much the Eruptor can't do. It's by far got the most utility of any item that we could put in the primary slot, just by a mile in my opinion. For the secondary weapon, the ultimatum is just too good. I mean, yes, it got some nerfs ever since it was released and ever since I was taking a look at it before, but it's just still great, man. I mean, like, the explosion damage makes it even better in my opinion, just because it's better at clearing enemies. You just shoot this into a pack of enemies, it's gonna wipe the floor with them. There's a lot of times on various Terminid maps where there'll be large amounts of spewer enemies clustered up. Just shoot this into the pack of them and they'll die instantly. It's also great for objective clearing, such as shrieker towers, spore towers, takes them out in one shot. It is still extremely strong against the elite units. We'll take out the chargers in one shot most of the time. We'll take out the Bile Titans in 1 to 2 shots, depending on where you hit it and how you hit it. It's going to be able to take it out quickly. So the ultimatum still has a lot of utility overall for a secondary item. So it's quite easy to make that as a meta item for this particular build. Once again, for the equipment item, we're bringing in the gas grenade. This thing is just too good for breaches. I'm serious. Like, this is like the best get out of jail free card or breach situation. You throw this at your feet, you can keep running, all the bugs will dissipate behind you. It's absolutely elite. It's also great for when you're doing the capture the flag missions or anything like that where there's lots of breaches going on. You can just throw this into a breach and it's going to nullify everything coming out of that for 15 seconds, do damage over time. Gas grenade is just still freaking way too good not to bring as your equipment item. For the armor passive, I'm going to leave it up to you again. Basically, I choose between extra padding, medkit, engineer, acclimated, kind of whatever you want to bring in. I still favor extra padding more because you get that movement of medium armor, plus you get heavy armor resistance, which is very, very nice. But if I had to say a second option, I would say medkit. Medkit is just too good, especially the heavy variant. You'll be slower, but you'll be taking less damage. You'll have way more survivability with the stims, as well as you get that bonus 2-second stim over time. Pairs incredibly well with experimental infusion. Overall, medkit is a very, very close second for me. Once again, for our stratagem 1 backpack slot, we're going to be bringing in the gas dog. Again, it's just too good. It makes the bugs so much easier. So if you're thinking about a meta loadout, essentially what I look for is I want the build to not only function well, be able to kill things quickly, deal with anti-tank situations, but I just want the bugs to just leave me alone. I got predator bugs charging me. I got gloom bugs charging me, chargers charging me, whatever. If something's coming at me, the gas dog is going to help take care of that. Gas grenade is going to help take care of that. These two items together are just going to nullify so many things on the bug front, and the gas dog especially just makes it easy mode to be able to deal with any situation. For our stratagem 2 slot, aka our support weapon, we're going to be bringing in the stalwart. The stalwart is just an amazing hot swap weapon right now in the game for a lot of different weapons, but specifically for the Eruptor, it's very good. Because the Eruptor has a smaller magazine and is not very wieldy in close quarters, the stalwart is extremely good for bullet hosing whatever comes near you. So if you got a situation where you're being charged by a bunch of bugs, you have your gas dog going crazy, and then you're just mowing them down with the stalwart. It's absolutely elite. You got 250 bullets per magazine at light pin, 80 damage, GG. This thing has an insane fire rate. Stalwart is just way too good right now as a support weapon, and paired with the Eruptor, you're covered on all bases. Eruptor is going to help you with dealing with packs, breaches from distance, also helping you with anti-tank stuff. Stalwart's going to clean up all the other things. It's a very, very nice combo overall. And then for our stratagem 3 and 4, we're once again going to bring in the 500 kg and the Rocket Sentry. In my opinion, this is just the best overall combination of items to bring in for anti-tank and just general clearing. 500 kg, once again, multi-tank anti-tank situation, Bile Titans, Chargers all together. Throw this in. It's going to eliminate a lot of them. Great for clearing nest. Great for dealing with the Bile Titan spawners. Overall, love the 500 kg. Rocket Sentry again is going to have incredible lock-on range, great ammo economy. You'll be able to deal with not only anti-tank situations, but helping you with clearing enemies from distance. So if you place as well on a mountain, rocks, or anything like that, it's going to be able to kill things from far away. So overall, right now in the framework, this is by far the meta build right now to run. For ease of use, to make things way easier for yourself, easier for your teammates, you can deal with any situation. Anti-tank is covered, crowd control is covered, bullet hose is covered with the stalwart. Overall, this is the most well-rounded meta build right now for the bugs. All right, so lastly, my favorite thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to talk about my personal favorite go-to loadout that I just cannot stop running. It is so much fun, and it's been by far my favorite loadout to run against the bugs, whether it be the gloom bugs, the predators, or the base bugs. So for the primary weapon, I'm running the Torture. The Torture is my favorite weapon in the game right now. It is so much fun because fire is so much fun in the game. This is a brief editor's note because fire damage and other status effect weapons do have currently a bug that is making them extremely inconsistent. Some people think it's a host bug versus not being host type thing, but it's a little bit of both because when I've been the host, when I'm solo and things like that, it works well, sometimes it doesn't. So right now there's some weirdness going on with fire damage and gas damage overall. So you'll notice in some of the clips that some of the fire damage is not quite as effective as it would be, but I'm going to be speaking for the rest of the video as if it is working as intended. So that's just something to keep in mind. People don't understand how good fire is. I mean, I've talked about it in recent videos. There's other creators who have talked about it, but it's not only great against the bugs, but it's great against the bots. It's great against the Illuminates. It's just very, very good overall because it has heavy penetration, ignores armor. We'll be able to deal with Bile Titans, Chargers, and things like that. We'll be able to clear out packs of enemies because you can lay down walls of fire on the ground. Fire is just so freaking good right now that the Torture has become one of my favorite weapons, if not my favorite weapons to run in the primary slot, especially when we pair it with the Warp Pack, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but that has basically evolved a lot of loadouts, especially ones that involve flame weapons like the Torture. For our secondary item, we are going to be bringing in the Ultimatum, but I will say that you can swap in the Grenade Pistol if you would like. I think it's kind of a toss-up between you. If you feel like you need more anti-tank with the Ultimatum, I feel like that is pretty good for that, as well as, or if you feel like you want something that's going to be able to clear objectives like bug holes and things like that, I would run the Grenade Pistol. But personally, I've been running the Ultimatum just a little bit more because I find those moments where I just want to make that Charger go away or do some extra damage to that Bile Titan so I can finish it off with the Torture or something like that. So overall, I found more use out of the Ultimatum with this particular loadout when compared to the Grenade Pistol. Equipment item, we're just going to make it a 3 for 3. Gas Grenade is just too good. You can also throw in the Thermite if you like, but we're running pretty anti-tank heavy between the Torture and some of our other options, so that's why I wanted the Gas Grenade, because I need some sort of crowd control because we are cutting a thing out to be able to add something else in. So Gas Grenade is just going to be great for being able to help us with get out of jail free situations, you know, breaches and all those various things like that. So Gas Grenade is just very good there. And because we are running a little bit more limited on gas, I would suggest maybe running Engineer or considering it, because Engineer gives us 2 extra grenades, which is very, very valuable, especially when you're running more limited and crowd control tools. You can also run extra padding again or medkit. That's kind of where I default between those 3, and then Acclimated as a far 4th. So overall, I'm going to run Engineer a little bit more often, but typically I will still lean into that extra padding a little bit more. All right, so for our stratagem 1, I've been running the Warp Pack like crazy. It is just so freaking good with charge up weapons or weapons that have steady streams or steady fire, meaning like lasers or the flame weapons, or, you know, like I mentioned, charge up weapons like the Quasar and things like that. The Warp Pack makes those weapons so much easier because you can do those actions while you're warping. So the Warp Pack allows you to warp just any direction you want. You can warp front, back, through things, on top of things, whatever. It has increased movement with these weapons so much. So that's why I've been particularly loving this combination of the Torture and the Warp Pack, because I can continue to avoid enemy attacks. Charger's coming at me, I fly through it, I start shooting him from the backside with my Torture, kill him quickly. I can evade enemy attacks by getting more distance by laying down walls of fire, can circle Bile Titans, can go through their legs, come underneath them, shoot them with the Torture. The Warp Pack has made the Torture an absolute freaking blast. It is so much freaking fun, so good, and it's absolutely an elite combination right now running the Warp Pack and the Torture, in my opinion. For Stratagem 2, aka our support weapon, we're going to be once again bringing out the Stalwart. So this is again a great hot swap combo between the Torture and the Stalwart, just because when you are being swarmed a little bit more and you need just something to make things go away, some of the lighter armored units or the beefier units like Brood Commanders and things like that, bust out the Stalwart after you lay down some walls of fire, just kill everything super quickly. It's very, very powerful. It's a great wombo combo as well, very similar to the Eruptor. And the Stalwart, and the Torture is also a very, very powerful wombo combo in the game right now. For Stratagem 3 and 4, we're going to make it a 3 for 3 again. Basically, we're going to be running the 500 kg and the Rocket Sentry, but I will say that I have been running the Machine Gun Sentry a lot for either the 500 kg or the Rocket Sentry. Depends on the map and the mission and whatnot, but typically I'll swap out the Rocket Sentry for the Machine Gun Sentry if I want some more clearing. So it just depends on what you're doing, what enemy type you're facing. With the Predator strain, I typically will go for the Machine Gun Sentry because it's going to help me with clearing. I throw some gas grenades down, set it down, it has such a quick cooldown, it's going to be able to come back and kill things quickly. But with the Rocket Sentry, again, it's just too good. It's very, very powerful for any situation on the bug front to help clear, deal with the anti-tank stuff, so I quite like it a lot. If you are going to run double Sentry, meaning you're swapping out the 500 kg in the situation, that's a very deadly combo as well, but you just got to have them near each other to protect each other, and that works better on maybe the mega city environments. So that's where I found that that combination works a little bit better. So really it depends on what you want, but that's kind of what I've been doing, is running something between 500 kg Rocket Sentry, Machine Gun Sentry, Rocket Sentry, or 500 kg Machine Gun Sentry. So I've been kind of swapping between those three items, but really in reality, these things have kind of been mainstays in my loadout. But yeah, overall right now against the bugs, the meta has changed so much from when I made that video in the past, because yes, weapons like the Cookout are still great. Yes, things like the Grenade Pistol are still great. And there's so many things in the game that I quite like a lot. There's so many different loadouts and combinations that I quite like a lot. But really when it comes down to it, the Eruptor is just so elite right now against every faction, does so much damage, has so much utility that I can't not make it the meta item to bring in against the bugs, because it is. Against maybe the bots, it's not as much, and maybe against the Illuminate, there's some other things, but really against the bugs, it is just so freaking good, especially with the ability to be able to switch to the Stalwart anytime. This is an absolutely elite combo in the game. But if you want to run the old meta loadout, like I said, with the Cookout, with the Gas Dog and things like that, that is still a very, very fun and powerful loadout. I ran that quite a bit, and I was having just as easy or as a good a time. It's just that with the Eruptor meta build that I created, it's just a little bit more efficient and easier, in my opinion, than it was with the other one. But really, where the fun is, in my opinion, where I've been having the most fun with this particular situation of running loadouts versus the Gloom bugs and the Predator bugs and things like that, has been with this Torture Warp Pack combo. It is so much freaking fun, so I suggest you kind of pick and choose which one of these loadouts you want to run, because all of them are really fun. But alright, that's my full thoughts on what I thought was meta before, what I think is meta now, and what my current favorite loadout is to bring in versus the bugs. What do you guys think about this video down in the comments below? Let me know what your current favorite builds and your meta build is for the Terminids. But more importantly, make sure you like and subscribe for more content similar to this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.